keep the music playing.
Today's news and weather is brought to you by the Backyard Bar, Stage, and Grill. Check out upcoming shows at backyardwaco.com.
From the News 10 Newsroom, I'm Keisha Lopez. TxDOT is beginning a new pedestrian safety campaign to remind drivers to share the road with people walking and biking. The department is putting up signs across Texas to remind people to, quote, drive safe and drive smart. The jumpstart of the program was started when a Houston boy, 10-year-old Victor Peterson, was struck and killed while on his bicycle just minutes after talking to his mom. TxDOT says that it has started with Houston putting the signs up in English and Spanish, reminding everyone about what they can do and should do. The Bell County Fire Marshal's Office is reminding folks that a burn ban remains in effect after responding to a large fire over the weekend. The Fire Marshal's Office shared photos of the aftermath, a disaster they say that could have been prevented. Officials say a resident told them the wind blew flames and embers toward his house. Thankfully, crews prevented the fire from spreading to any structures. We're told that some empty cardboard boxes and trash may have been placed on top of hot coals. From the News 10 Newsroom, I'm Keisha Lopez.
Finally, some precipitation participating in Central Texas's forecast. Not today or tomorrow or even Wednesday, but Thursday and Friday, we do have the chance for some showers and likely non-severe storms, hopefully amounting to a half an inch to over an inch of rain. We desperately do need it. Thankfully, the fire risk is coming down. We have humidity back into the atmosphere and relatively calm winds to start the work week. Morning temperatures today starting out in the 50s and low 60s will warm into the upper 70s for some, low to mid 80s for most this afternoon. We will still have low fire danger tomorrow, but with near record highs of 90 degrees. From KWTX, I'm First Alert meteorologist Sean Bellafury.
Good morning. It is Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. Zack Owen Show brought to you by Waco Realtors, the Eastland Group, and our friends at Be Kind Coffee. We're live at the Backyard Bar, Stage, and Grill. It's barbecue week, and you know how much I love barbecue. Man, I love it. And I got the guy to kick it off on a Monday. Phillip Helberg is here from Helberg Barbecue. We'll talk with him about the new location. Maybe he'll give us a secret or two and some tips on barbecuing. But we got to kick it off the way we do every morning. Let's kick it off with our national anthem.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Man, what a great day to kick off barbecue week. Going to be a gorgeous day. 76, 77. Wasn't yesterday beautiful?
Oh, yeah, it's gorgeous.
Oh, man. Phillip Helberg from Helberg. Is it Helberg or Helbergs?
Helberg.
Berg.
Yes.
That's what I thought. No S. It's kind of like my last name is Owen, and people always try to put an S on it.
Yeah.
Owens. No, it's Owen. Helberg. All right. This is barbecue week. We've got somebody different every day coming in, either an owner, a manager, a pit master, whoever it might be is going to stop in this week. Plus, we got great music. Colton Hawkins is going to be on our stage here at the backyard coming up at the 9 o'clock hour. So let's kick it off. Phillip, first of all, thanks for coming in, buddy. And I want you to tell us about Helberg. How did it all start? Who started it? Tell us the history.
So I was living away from Texas for a few years and grew up highly interested in cooking. Barbecue wasn't, I loved to like grill in the backyard and whatnot, but as far as like low and slow smoking meat, things like that, wasn't something I had ever done or tried until I was an adult.
Right.
And just being homesick, my mother-in-law bought me a little backyard smoker that was on sale at Home Depot.
Yeah.
And I just started messing around with it and loved cooking with fire. I just fell in love with cooking with fire immediately. Yeah. I was in school for accounting at the time, and the barbecue bug just bit me really hard. And in my travels, road trips back to Texas to show my wife around the state,
right.
and ultimately figure out where we were going to move to, because I grew up in the Houston area, but I just didn't really feel like moving back there.
Very smart.
Wanted to be done with the big city life.
Yeah.
We tried a lot of barbecue places as we were traveling, and compared I'm always, anything that I choose to do, I'm going to go all in on it and like want to, become the best at it or
Sure.
the best I can be.
Sure.
And started, putting what I was cooking in the backyard up against these successful barbecue places, and just really studying the craft and honing it in and practicing a lot. And before I knew it, we had a product that it wasn't necessarily a product yet, but a hobby that was like, could stand up to some of these places that were getting some recognition. And
now, were you at that time, had you entered any competitions, any cook-offs around the state or anything?
No, never did any competitions. Was strictly just a hobby, backyard cooker. And then through just sharing, my creations with friends and neighbors where we lived, we started getting asked to do little catering jobs here and there. And so once I had my, figured out what I needed to charge for things, a group project had come up in my 1B managerial accounting class that was, we had to create a budget and a projection for a business, and I had already had some of the legwork flushed out,
so it was
for
a perfect fit.
Yeah, I convinced my classmates, and I got free labor on my business plan from college students.
I love it.
Yeah, and then so that kind of helped build the framework on like how to, go about selling barbecue.
Sure.
The very, very, tip of the iceberg.
Sure.
And then I convinced my wife to get into the restaurant business with me.
How hard was that?
That was one of the more challenging parts for sure. She was definitely more open to doing events because we had already done several.
Right.
And she had a background actually in events, and we were originally trying to do kind of more of like an event business where there was like planning and coordinating and catering involved. But we quickly realized that the catering aspect was going to take all of our time and effort.
Yeah.
So we just went in all
All
in
in.
on that.
Wow.
Bought a little trailer in a Walmart parking lot in Greenville, Texas, and the old 1950s camper, and fixed it up, threw a holding cabinet and a fridge in there, and bought a smoker that was built for us. And
What year was this?
this would have been 2017.
Okay.
And then that was the year that we decided that we wanted to move to Waco.
Now, what made you pick Waco?
So I had my only ties to Waco was I had a couple of stepsisters that attended Baylor, and we visited them a couple of times while they were in school. And my wife really loved the area. I was kind of indifferent. I didn't really think much of it, honestly. But then once we got to start kind of peeling the layers back a little bit and seeing the small town feel, but the growth that was happening.
The access to I-35 up and down.
Yeah, it just started to make more and more sense. Geographic location, specific, industries and businesses that were driving growth here, and then also just seeing really the nail in the coffin for me was just seeing the small business community and how strong that was, and how young people like us were actually being able to
do something,
to get out and be successful. It wasn't like you had to have millions and millions of dollars and basically be born into it, or have this built-in network. Like you could come here and just put yourself out there, meet people, put out a good product, and start doing well. So we felt like we actually had a shot here.
So we're talking to Phillip Helberg, Helberg Barbecue, new location. We're going to eventually get into that and talk about that. So it's all about barbecue this morning. But before we continue, Phillip, I got to tell you what today is.
Okay, what's today?
I'm going to tell you what today is. Today is March 24th. Man, this first quarter of the year has flown by.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Today is International Day for Achievers. You sound like an achiever. National Cheesesteak Day. I like a good cheesesteak. And National Chocolate Covered Raisin Day, which reminds me, Mike, of an old joke. So the old grandma is in the nursing home, and she's in bed and she's asleep, and the grandson goes to visit and goes into the room and doesn't want to wake her up. He sits down in a chair next to the bed, and he notices eventually a bowl of raisins sitting there. And I'm sure she wouldn't mind me eating those, so he starts eating these raisins, and they're really good raisins, he says to himself. And eventually the grandmother wakes up, and he says, "Oh, Grandma, I just wanted to tell you, where'd you get these raisins? They're so good." She goes, "Oh, they're so good, and you should have tasted the chocolate that were on them that I sucked off." Yeah. Anyway, today's National Chocolate Covered Raisins Day. Now, I have another story for you, Phillip. Today is National Cocktail Day. Now, according to this, National Cocktail Day was created by J. Shoemaker Galloway as a fun day to celebrate a fun drink, a cocktail. Now, this says they really don't know the origin of the term cocktail, but I know for a fact, and this is true, this isn't a joke. In the early days in England, where we get most everything, our history and names and things like that come from, everything was done by horse, whether it was a carriage, the trolleys were pulled by horses, everything was horse. And they never used thoroughbred horses. They were reserved for the racing and for the rich. They were what they called a mixed breed. And they noticed that the mixed breed, their tails were cocked. Promise you, cocked. So they associated mix with cocked. So they go, "That's a cocked horse, da-da-da-da-da-da-da." Yeah. Back in those days, mostly beer was served in the pubs and so forth. Well, when they started mixing drinks, the locals gave it the name cocktail because it was a mix, just like the horse was a mix.
A cocktail.
Cocktail.
Huh.
And eventually just was shortened down to cocktail. That's the history I was told there. Cocktail. Huh?
The more you know.
The more you know. It's amazing. Your brain just... But anyway, that's what today is. What's today for you? Monday is a day off, right?
Yes, in a way.
In a way.
In a way, it's a day off. I'll have a little bit of stuff I gotta go in and do.
Right.
You know, if you want to get ahead.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
On the week.
Oh, yeah. So, Phillip, when you moved to Waco, and did you continue to do events and catering and stuff like that before you opened the store?
Not really. When we moved here, it was all focused on just getting our trailer open and finding a place to set up and just sell to the public. And just by way of walking around downtown with a realtor friend who was our a residential realtor that helped us find our house, introduced us to his commercial friend and said, hey, this guy's connected and, you know, might be able to help you, introduce you to some people that could help you out finding a place to sell barbecue. And we basically just spent the day with him walking around Waco and meeting people, and you can do that, you know, you walk down Austin Avenue and meet somebody who can help you with something. And so that was really nice. We ended up getting linked up with Pinewood Coffee Bar down there on Austin Avenue, and that was our first location. So our food truck was set up there. We opened late April of 2018, and we're there until May of 2019 when we opened the store out in Spiegelville.
So how did you choose that location, the one out there, the brick and mortar?
Yeah, that's a good question because it seemed random to a lot of people. And it really, the way it happened was there was a gentleman that lived right down the street from the coffee shop on Austin Avenue that worked for Valley Mills Vineyards, the winery. Yeah. And did you ever go to that whenever it was the winery there, that building? Mm-hmm. And he basically just said, hey, you know, he had eaten our food from just being walking distance from the coffee shop, and we were set up there most days, and asked if we'd be interested in coming out to the winery to serve barbecue while they did their, you know, Saturday night live music, wine tasting over summer already slow time of the year for, you know, restaurants and pretty much industry in general in Waco. Mm-hmm. And we were so brand new, we really just weren't in a position to say no to anything. And so we figured, why the heck not? And we live in Crawford, so it was actually on our way home.
Oh, there you go.
And we were hauling that trailer back and forth from Crawford to downtown every week. And so Saturday nights we were already going home anyway. And we went out there, set up in the parking lot, and sold more barbecue in 2 hours there than we sold in 2 days on Austin Avenue.
Oh, my gosh.
We learned that very quickly. I think the first time we went there, we sold out in probably 30 minutes.
Wow.
And then the following Saturdays throughout that summer, we just started to cook more and more, and it really got us through that summer. And then, you know, just from doing that every weekend, we met the owners of the winery, and they let us know that they were getting ready to move out of that place, and that it would be up for lease because they were finishing construction of their new, you know, property on their vineyard out in Valley Mills, and that, you know, we should talk to the landlord. He's a reasonable guy, and it seemed to be a good spot for us. We liked it out there, and we worked out a deal and took over the lease in March of 2019.
2019. Wow. I know I've stopped there many times. Girlfriend Andrea used to live off of Baylor Camp out there, and we would get to go quite a bit from over there at the great barbecue. I do want to say that. And I do want to say thank you so much to Phillip. And we cleaned them out. He brought me and Mike some burnt ends. Mike only got one. I gave him one. But I'm going to tell you right now, What did I say to you? It tastes like candy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tastes like candy. It was so good. He also brought the rub, and I want to talk to him about that here in a minute. And then also a nice Helberg barbecue cap. I appreciate you so very much for coming in and talking about barbecue. And I've told you the story, and I've told the folks the story that I kind of grew up in the barbecue business. And my first real job that when I turned 16, was washing dishes in the kitchen in Fort Worth. My dad ran the Underwoods Barbecue in Haltom City and the one on Mansfield Highway for probably 25 years. And at first, I was so enthused and wanted to be in the barbecue restaurant business. And then as I got older, I go, and my father, we just talked about this, you work a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes there's 80-hour weeks, but I rarely saw my dad. And so immediately I said, I'm not going to do this. So hats off to you for doing it. It takes a commitment.
Definitely. You have to love it. You really have to love what you do. And I had an experience prior to barbecue, actually in the restaurant industry and service, working on a cruise ship.
Oh,
and
wow.
That was actually where I met my wife. We have kind of a crazy story of how we met.
Oh, man. I love cruises. I go on a lot of cruises. You can tell me some secret things about it.
Oh, I can tell you anything you need to know. It's not as glamorous, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But, you work 7 days a week. Your average week is 80 hours.
Yeah.
You don't get a day off. You work 5 months straight for a typical contract, sometimes longer. And you live and die by naps,
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of work, but you get used to it. Your body gets used to it. Your feet get used to it.
And you take that with you into life.
And you've got to be on point every day too with hospitality. You're
Sure.
overworked and underslept, and you have to go and put yourself out there and make somebody's vacation magic.
Yeah.
So if you can learn how to do that for 5 months every day, you can get through some seasons like we're in right now where there's not a day off and you just got to grind it out and then still be up there smiling on the cutting block. And
it sets the tone.
Yeah.
It really does. Well, what cruise line? Can you tell us that?
Yeah, I was on Norwegian.
Oh, I love Norwegian. We just went to Hawaii on our Zack and Jim trip here about a year or two ago on Norwegian. And then Andrea and I...
to Hawaii on a ship?
No.
Or you flew out
over there.
So you were on the Pride of America.
Pride of America.
That was the ship I worked on.
That was the second time we'd been on that ship over there.
And
I'll tell you a real quick story. And then we just got back here in May from Alaska, and we did Norwegian. And coming up July 31st of this year, this will show our commitment to Norwegian. And I continue the Zack and Jim Travel Club. Trip 45, we're going to fly to Athens, Greece, and get on the Pearl, the Norwegian Pearl, and we're going to cruise Greek islands, Croatia, Italy. Yeah.
What ship were you on in Alaska?
That's a good question.
Was it one of the big ones, the newer ones?
No, it was not a big one. It was an older, smaller.
Because my wife and I and our family, we cruised Norwegian this last summer in Alaska.
Yeah.
On one of the, I can't remember the name. It was one of the new big. It was like 5,000 people on the ship. It was just too big.
It's crazy.
Pride of America is like half of that.
Yeah.
So
2,000,
2,500 max. That's a good size ship.
Sitting on the first time we went, Pride of America, and I want to say it was Jim's 50th birthday or something. But anyway.
When was this?
Let's see. We went about 2 years ago. And let's see. He was 59, 57. Probably nine years ago.
Okay.
10 years ago.
That I worked on the ship in 2015.
That you could have been
so
there.
So I might have been on there.
So the story I was going to say, I'm sitting on the back and having coffee early in the morning, and I hear this young kid, pushing a cart with coffee, and he's singing. And da 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 da. Hey, would you like coffee and whatever? Come over. And his name, I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, but he was from Waco. He went to Midway. He was a young kid serving coffee on that ship.
That's so cool.
Isn't it? Small world.
That's crazy.
All right, we're talking with Phillip Helberg. We're going to get back talking about barbecue, and we'll talk about the location and what happened at that location, which proceeded to kind of open the door for bigger and better things. Anyway, we'll talk about that coming up. But right now, it's time to check in and see what's happening in the world of country music news. We're going to check in right after this with Nashville Cat.
Today's edition of Nashville Cat on the Zack Owen Show Live is brought to you by Be Kind Coffee. Be Kind Coffee's ultimate goal is to promote kindness. 1534 Washington Avenue. Sit down and stay a while. Be Kind Coffee is open Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. BeKindCoffeeCrew.com.
As for getting his star on the Music City Walk of Fame last week, Luke Combs said he thought he'd never see that day. All he ever wanted to do was pay his bills and make a living playing music. Luke also said he has no plans to slow down. Blake Shelton admits he only knows 40% of today's artists, and the only reason he did his upcoming album is because of Post Malone. Blake said, seeing how fired up Post is about country music, that was the kick I needed to not take too much time off. Finally, Jelly Roll has a favorite dish his wife makes when he's home from the road: Trap House Texas cornbread. It's basically meat-filled cornbread with a ton of melted cheese on top. I'm Nashville Cat on the Zack Owen Show.
Nashville Cat, Monday through Friday, right here on the Zack Owen Show, live at the Backyard Bar, Stage, and Grill. Big thank you to Waco Realtors, our sponsor. If you're looking to buy or sell your home, well, now's the time to do it. Give us a call at Waco Realtors. We'll take care of you. Phillip Helberg, Helberg Barbecue, is here with me right now. We're talking about the location out in Spiegelville. Tell us about the fire. Tell us about what happened. How'd you hear about it? What was going on?
Yeah, so my son and I were making some venison sausage at the house for a friend. My wife was putting up decorations on the Christmas tree, and
everything was lovely.
Baking Christmas cookies, and it was like the ideal evening in the Helberg home.
Yeah.
We had just finished our busiest week of the whole year. Busiest week of the whole year for Helberg is always Thanksgiving week. So we cook a ton of,
turkeys,
whole turkeys, briskets,
ham,
turkey breast, hams, all, you name it. And people come pick it up the 2 days before Thanksgiving. And then we have, Thanksgiving, we're off. Black Friday, we're kind of off. And then that weekend, Small Business Saturday is a big day. And we typically do a lot of business that weekend right after Thanksgiving, just because people still have their folks in town.
Sure.
And they're tired of eating leftovers, and they, hey, let me take you to my favorite barbecue spot. And we had just gotten through that week, and I had just been telling you earlier before we went on how that week is usually, I work a ton of hours, and I'm running pretty ragged by the end of it. And so we were just having a nice family day. And then we got a call about 7:45 in the evening from a good family friend of ours that our restaurant was on fire. Ugh. And we couldn't believe it. And then we, quickly, pull up our app to check the cameras, and we can see our kitchen. I assumed, like most would, like, okay, the smokers are on fire somehow. Like, wouldn't make sense the way, we clean our smokers regularly.
Yeah,
that's the best way to prevent a fire from happening. Also, just knowing how our smokers work, offset smokers, it's hard to have a pit fire in one of those unless you're just totally negligent. And so we checked the cameras. It was in the kitchen, which our setup at the old building, if you remember, was kind of, we went into this space. It was sort of like an old warehouse space that we DIY'd into a restaurant dining room.
Yeah.
And we had our service line set up in there, but all of our back of house was outside. Our kitchen was a 40-foot long food trailer. It was the biggest food trailer I've ever been in, but it was a food trailer.
Yeah.
Connected to the building via an awning, and it was connected to the plumbing. And then all of our smokers were outside on trailers and whatnot. And so the kitchen trailer was on fire pretty good by this point. We could see flames kind of coming out of the windows and up even through the roof. And at that point, we figured, I mean, we obviously just dropped what we were doing and hightailed it over there. It's a 13-minute drive from our house. We made it in 9 that time. And our thought was, let's grab every extinguisher we can find and just try to, put this thing out.
Sure.
And by the time we got there, that was no longer an option. It had made it, and it was just from a safety standpoint, it had made its way far enough back to the back of the trailer where the 2, propane bottles are. We're just, we had no choice. We had to step back and just wait for the fire department to show up. And we had, Spiegelville, Waco, Valley Mills, we had several departments show up. We're kind of in that no man's land in there.
That's
in Spiegelville,
right. The Tri-Cities. We're not real sure.
And so it took a little bit, but they got there. By the time they had gotten there, so those propane bottles eventually did, they have those pressure release valves on them. Those eventually popped, released gas.
Boom.
That ignited just a fireball which went then up through the awning that connected the trailer to the building and straight up into the building and just burned the roof completely. Wow. And we saw that, for, I don't know, it couldn't have been longer than 10 minutes that the roof was on fire, and they got it put out. And we figured, okay, maybe we're going to have to replace some roofing and insulation. And then we went in there, and that place was destroyed.
Gone.
Yeah.
So is there an official, how it started determine anything?
No, because, our best, between the investigation with the fire department, the sheriff's office, and just the information that we had, because nobody was there.
Right.
It was 2-3 hours after our last employee left.
Right.
It's our longest tenured kitchen employee. We trust him fully to close things down the proper way.
Sure.
We know that he did. The gas to the trailers was completely off. So it couldn't have even been a pilot, something left on the stove, something like that, because there was absolutely no gas to the trailer whatsoever.
Wow.
So, by process of elimination, we figured it had to be electrical.
Electrical. Yeah.
Which we had some issues with the electrical in that trailer over the years. We'd had it for 5 years and put a lot of wear and tear on it. And we had, faulty breakers that we'd had to get replaced earlier that year. We had a gecko crawl into the one of the panels on the back of the building.
Well, guess what? The gecko's not there anymore.
The gecko was barbecue that day. He got fried on that panel.
Which is a special tomorrow night at Helberg.
So we figured there's no other. Yeah. But, the sheriff said after his investigation, he said, there's no – typically when you're looking at a kitchen fire, you can – isolate an area where it started because it's obvious in a kitchen, especially if the fire gets put out.
Sure.
It destroyed everything.
The whole trailer.
So there was no way to pinpoint where it started.
Yeah. Well, let's put all that behind us now. That's history, and let's move on, and we're going to update with the new Helberg barbecue. We'll talk about that. But first of all, we're going to play a classic music video right here on a Monday on the Zack Owen Show.
This is one of those 4 a.m. in the morning songs that normally you wake up the next day and go, oh, I don't want anybody to hear that. But this one I kept, and listening to a bunch of Merle Haggard. So. Tonight I feel as empty as the hole in this guitar. Songs I'm singing seem so out of tune. But the people pay good money, so I've got to play the star and do the only thing I know how to do. Keep on singing, keep on smiling, try to make the people dance and drink a while. Then maybe so alone, hiding behind this microphone. I wouldn't change 1 minute about the life I get to live. Heaven knows that I'm one lucky man. But this damn dream just keeps on taking more than I can give. And oftentimes I wonder who I really am. But I keep on smiling, try to make the people dance and drink a while. Then maybe they won't know why I'm feeling so alone, hiding behind this microphone. I'll take the picture, I'll shake the hand. I know the music's gonna heal me, so I'll just hold on until then. Keep on singing, keep on smiling, try to make the people dance and drink a while. Feeling so alone, hiding behind this microphone. Yeah, up here hiding behind this microphone. Thank you very much.
Old buddy Wade Bowen. That actually was recorded from one of our Zack Owen shows, one of the first few weeks of the show. Here we are at the Backyard Bar, Stage, and Grill. Over the weekend here, Good Times, last Friday night, Holly Tucker and her band. And then on Saturday night, Mike Ryan was here playing music, having a good old time. I saw my buddy, one of the Huser brothers, were in attendance. And I saw a few pictures with him and Mike, but great venue. We got so many great shows. I'm going to try to get one of the boys from the Backyard on a little bit later on to talk about what's coming up this weekend at the Backyard. But right now, it's barbecue week. All week long, we're talking barbecue. Phillip Helberg is here from Helberg Barbecue. Is it officially called where it is, Spiegelville? Is that the actual?
I don't know if it's official.
That's a weird area because some of those areas are Crawford, and it's like Crawford. Wait a minute,
right.
And then some China Spring, and some are Spiegelville. It's
So you want to hear something funny? So at the old place, which is a mile down the street from our new building, our landlord's deed said Crawford. Apple Maps said Woodway, and we would pay taxes to the Midway School District. I think Google Maps said China Spring, and our mailing address was Waco because our mail would come through the Highway 6 post office. Yeah. So if it didn't, when we had to get mail sent or a package shipped, we had to put Waco or else it wouldn't get delivered. So, and then, our new one, I think it's technically it says Woodway as the address. Getting mail sometimes is still a little bit tricky, but
I told you Andrea lived out there, and I think she told me her street was China Spring School and 1 or 2 streets over was Woodway.
Crawford. Oh, okay, it was Woodway.
Like,
Yeah.
what?
I know that Baylor Camp area can be tricky. I have some friends that live out there, and they're
Yeah.
like, they could send their kids to China Spring or Crawford.
Crawford, yeah. Crazy. Anyway, we're talking barbecue. Okay, so it burnt down. That's in the past. Of course, you guys have to make a living. Did you have to go buy a new trailer, or
We were
had one?
So yeah, this is, I mean, it's incredible how things all happened, and just the community came together, and really just the faithfulness of God through this whole thing. And that is like, you know, if I could come on here and talk about anything regarding our business, it is like all to His glory, and the miracle that He's performed throughout the last year and a half. You know, a lot of places, restaurants, as you know, it's a hard business, and a lot of restaurants have closed, both in Waco and all around the state, and barbecue and other, you know, in the last couple of years, without having problems like a fire to recover from. And yet here we are 16 months after the fire, reopened and doing more business than we were before the fire. So
you opened a spot.
Mm-hmm.
Did you own that land, or did that get bought?
We purchased that land that we're on now back in 2021.
Okay.
Because we got our feet under us at the old location. We started growing. We made it through the thick of the pandemic, and
So you're looking ahead.
and we could already see ourselves potentially outgrowing that space. And it was just getting more and more expensive to operate there. And so we were looking for a place to expand into.
Sure.
But yeah, so we had bought that, and we're just sitting on it. And over the years, we were back and forth between, do we build? Do we try to buy this place and expand into both sides of it in order to grow? And then it was just a matter of space.
Sure.
Parking space primarily.
That was the big thing.
Yeah, parking and septic. Really, just having everything is on septic out there, and to have a restaurant that you can process all of your dishwater, basically, you know, it's a lot of water you go through as a restaurant to clean, and you need a lot of space to
Tell me about it.
to disperse all of that. So having the right amount of space to have enough parking and the septic that we needed was the primary driver. And then, yeah, we had ended up deciding, I think the building route was going to be the best option for us to really make it work long term. And
how long did it take from the day you got the plans and decided to the completion? About how long?
Well, so my wife and I had worked on this design and reworked it over and over again, and it went through engineers, and we were actually starting the bidding process in October, and then the previous restaurant caught fire in November. So the plans were already in motion.
Yeah.
It was already taking a lot longer than we had hoped, because we were hoping to start construction by the end of 23, and then, or summer of 23, really.
Yeah.
And then we didn't break ground until March of 2024. And I do think that the fire probably expedited some things with like the bidding process and getting, you know, like whatever other engineers had to go through before we could start doing.
A lot of processes.
Yes, it's so much time and money to get through all of that. So anyway, yeah, it was obviously our plan was to move from one building into another, and God had different plans for us. So the fire happens. We were already renting a trailer from Barnett's Whiskey House downtown. Because we had a satellite location set up there, and it was their trailer, but we were operating out of it. And Andrew called me up and said, "Hey, do you need a trailer?" And I was like, "Yeah, I need a trailer." And he said, "Okay, cool. Haul it out there." And so we've been renting that trailer from him. And then I have a good buddy down in Rockdale who had a barbecue place that closed down in 23, I believe. And he said, "Hey, you need a trailer? Come get it. Just come pick it up. It's just sitting here. You need to use it. We'll work out details later." So he loaned me that trailer. He's just letting me borrow it for the last 15
Wow.
months. And now we got a deal worked out where I'm going to buy it from him. But I needed two in order to operate, because I needed one to serve out of and one to cook all of the, the Brett's trailer had no cooking equipment in it. It's really set up to serve barbecue. So just have the hot holding cabinets to keep all the meat in and a refrigerator to keep all the sides in, and that was it. And then the other trailer that we were renting from Barnett's had like a stove and a fryer and an oven and stuff like that we could cook all of the rest of the stuff besides the meat. So that was how we ran the operation. We ran a drive-through actually outside of the burnt building, because I mean, when something like this happens, you have to make so many decisions in such a short period of time.
You've got employees to think about. You got your family to think about.
That was the hardest. The hardest part is like, we had a 7-day-a-week operation with 28 staff. Yeah. And what are you gonna do? What are we gonna do? And man, we Southern Smoke Foundation helped out a lot in like grants to give employees basically buy them some time to figure out what their next move was going to be. Because going into trailers, there's many reasons why we couldn't operate at the scale that we were before. Refrigeration space, just actual physical space to work. Yeah. And then the hours of operation had to go down quite a bit because we no longer had the capability to operate dinner services. It gets dark out there and no one can even see that you're open. Hello. So we had to scale way, way back. And we were only able to keep like 10 or 11 of our staff, and they were all the full-time people.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's a lot to be able to.
It still is a lot. And so, and they had all been with me for 2-3 years. And really, we knew that we were working toward building this new place. And so we had to think about, like, what is the core folks that have been with us for a while that we know we can rebuild with.
They're going to be part of the ground floor.
So Southern Smoke helped out. A friend of ours out in Lubbock that runs a barbecue restaurant, Ebby Mays. They started a GoFundMe for us. There were several local fundraisers, one of which was here at the backyard, actually.
Yeah, that's right.
That helped us like cover those costs of getting back up. I mean, to get back open in the trailers was very expensive.
Big deal. Well, we're going to jump ahead. We're going to talk about the new location, and we're going to get Phillip to tell us his super secret spice, the barbecue rub. We're going to tie him up, and we're going to whip him until he tells us what the secret ingredient is. We're going to do that, but we're going to take a quick break. Thank you to Waco Realtors, our major sponsor of our morning show. Also, Be Kind Coffee over on Washington Avenue. They're open right now till 6 o'clock tonight. We'll be back right after this.
Are you ready to take your real estate career to the next level? Whether you're a seasoned pro or just getting started, Weichert Realtors, the Eastland Group, is the place for you. At Weichert, we provide cutting-edge technology, personalized coaching and training, proven systems to help you succeed, all in a positive, drama-free atmosphere. Our team is more than just a real estate brokerage. We're a family dedicated to growth, support, and real results. Call us today to schedule a meeting or visit theeastlandgroup.com to learn more.
Protect your car with 3W Liners all-weather floor mats. Made from durable materials like TPE and rubber, our mats are designed to withstand rain, snow, and mud with deep grooves to trap dirt and liquids. For a custom fit and advanced protection, visit 3W Liners. That's the number 3, WLINERS.com today. At 25 Home, our ultimate goal is to provide you with a transformative experience, making each day feel like it has an extra hour. We believe your home is more than just a space, it's a sanctuary where comfort, relaxation, and happiness thrive. Discover the difference at 25 Home today. Shop now at 25home.com.
I need to get real excited.
Sure.
Okay. Hello everyone, my name is Sheridan Vasquez, and this is Sheridan Soundcheck Sessions. And I will be interviewing some of your favorite musicians and maybe some you've never heard before. Join me on Sheridan Soundcheck Sessions for something new every time. You can find Sheridan Soundcheck Sessions anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemediamusic.com. Yeehaw. And keep the music playing.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
Yeah.
Get paid faster with Bill, the easiest way to send, receive, and manage your payments. No more delays, no more hassle. Whether you're a freelancer or a business, Bill makes payments seamless and secure, simple, fast, and reliable. Sign up today at Bill.com. Want to turn your passion into profit? With Blogify, creating a blog has never been easier. Build, customize, and grow your site with powerful tools designed for beginners and pros alike. Start sharing your story today and watch your audience grow with Blogify. Visit blogify.ai today for a free 3-day trial. That's Blogify, Blogify.ai today. Overwhelmed by your inbox? Clean Email is here to help. Organize, clean, and manage your emails with powerful automation tools. Say goodbye to spam and clutter and enjoy a stress-free inbox. Try Clean Email today at cleanemail.com. That's CLEAN email.com. Stay connected no matter where you are with eSIM-X. Say goodbye to expensive roaming charges and physical SIM cards. With access to over 200 global carriers, we make mobile connectivity seamless and affordable for travelers worldwide. Join the future of communication today at eSIMX.com. That's ESIMX.com.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Easy Sun has been living fearlessly under the sun since 2016. Born from sailors' need for convenient sun protection, our mineral sunscreen is crafted with natural ingredients offering broad spectrum protection against UVA and UVB rays. Safe for your skin and the environment, stay protected on the go with Easy Sun, your ultimate sun care solution. Visit EasySun.com today. That's EEZYSUN.com.
Visit RogueMediaMusic.com for more music.
Hey, we're back live, Backyard Bar, Stage, and Grill. It's Monday morning, going to be a beautiful day. Hope you had a great weekend. I spent the weekend, Andrea and I, planting flowers and plants. And let me tell you, my back, lower back, and so what am I going to do today? I'm going to go play golf. That'll make my back feel better. Right. Hey, Phillip Helberg is here from Helberg Barbecue. It's barbecue week all week long. We got so much more to talk about in a little bit of time here, but let's fast forward. The new restaurant has opened, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks maybe?
Yeah, we just finished our second full week of service.
Yeah. Well, tell us about the new place. You walk in and...
Yeah, it's a lot more spacious than the old spot, so... You know, like I was saying, we had the ability, a lot of time, a 3 or 4 year kind of vision of my wife and I to design the place. And we've also, over the years, have had several visits to other barbecue places owned by people that we know and love across the state. And so we've gotten to tour several places behind, front of house, back of house, and see how they run their service and how their setup is, and compare it to what we were working with before, which was very much so DIY, and we had to kind of do the best we could with the space we had. So we had plenty of time to think, how would our perfect barbecue place run? Yeah. And so there's a fair amount of space to wait in line inside. You actually go around a market that we've built in there. That is something that's very near and dear to my heart. We've got a 12-foot long meat case in there that we just got a new condenser unit on, so we're going to start stocking it this week with things like house-made hot dogs, house-cured bacon, different specialty sausages that we make in-house, burger patties, and even whole cuts of meat like vacuum sealed briskets and racks of ribs and things like that that we can sell.
Oh man, that'll be great. Now I got to add, while you're talking about meat, a lot of people put so much stock, and I have to say this too. I would amiss if I didn't say, but my partner Jim had a big trailer hooked up, and he cooked. That was his hobby. That was his passion. Like you, was barbecuing and smoking, and he entered competition all over the state of Texas. And so I was around it. And a lot of people think, okay, it's just the rub. Okay, it's just the sauce. Okay, it's just this. But you got to start with good meat.
Yes.
Quality meat. Because you can tell, and I've judged a lot of competition around this area, you can tell if you bite into that rib or that brisket or whatever, if it may taste good with the sauce, but it's got to be quality. Well, quality meat.
Yeah, and that's I mean, especially at volume, when you're not just doing a brisket or two or a couple of racks of ribs, and you need consistency. You're doing 200 briskets in a week. That you've got all these different people coming, and you need every one of them to be as consistent as possible. The higher quality and brand that you seek out, the less headaches you're going to have with that.
Sure.
And nothing's more valuable than your reputation.
Yeah.
So barbecue's not cheap, and honestly, especially these days, between the top of the line stuff that we buy and the lower end briskets, there's not a terribly much of a difference in price on them. We're talking maybe $1.25 a pound, which then after food cost and cooking and labor and all of that shakes out to maybe $4 a pound, $5 a pound on the finished product.
So it could be very easy for somebody that is thinking only money and only cost to go to that lower quality, but you don't want to mess with what's made you what you are.
Well, and it's going to be expensive no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, protein, meat, beef especially is it's expensive these days. So
sure.
And probably will forever be. But I think if you're going to spend the money on meat, it's worth it to me to spend the extra few dollars getting the best quality that you can possibly get.
The rub. You sell this at the store?
Mm-hmm. We do.
And what are the ingredients that you can tell us?
So this is our all-purpose seasoning. This is what we put on our ribs and our chicken. We don't do this on briskets. Our briskets are just salt and pepper. But it's a heavy salt and pepper base. So we do a 16 mesh black pepper because that's the same granule size as the kosher salt, which is important for evenness of seasoning. And then there's other savory spices in there, garlic, onion powder, chili powder, paprika.
What are the hours of the new store?
We are currently Wednesday through Sunday. Wednesday and Thursday, we're 11 a.m. until 7 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 11 to 8 p.m. And then Sunday, we're 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. All of those times are subject to whether or not we sell out.
Yeah,
if we sell. And so far, we've sold out every day since we opened.
It's amazing. All right, if the average Joe, now this is, I'm gonna put you in the position. If you were to walk into your restaurant, to you, what would you order? If you walked in, what would you say? I'm gonna tell you what mine is. I think I would like a rib, a little bit of brisket, a little bit of sausage.
Mm-hmm. The Texas Trinity.
And then I would go with sides, would have to be potato salad, beans, coleslaw.
Yeah.
To me, that is the perfect barbecue plate.
Right. Well, that's a it's a litmus, right? You can get those items at pretty much every barbecue place. So if you're going to, stack up against every other place that you've been to, that's the order to get, so that you can see how it measures up. How each place does their brisket, ribs, and sausage, especially in Texas. Those are the quintessentials. You can't do without those.
What's the one? Do you sell more brisket than anything?
By far.
And then what's the side you sell more of?
Mac and cheese.
Really?
Yes, by a long shot. It's mac and cheese and then potato salads right under that.
Wow, I would have never guessed mac and cheese, but it is very popular,
Yeah, and it is, I mean, we make our cheese sauce from scratch with a roux and...
okay, he brings me burnt ends, but no mac and cheese. I don't know what's up with that.
Mac and cheese takes a little bit more time to whip up in the morning. I had the brisket already, cooked from last night and in the hot box ready to cut up, so that made it
Phillip,
easy.
you all over social media, website, stuff like that?
Yep, Instagram and Facebook primarily. We are on TikTok now. Actually, I don't manage the social media anymore, but
somebody a lot younger gets into that, just like me.
And then our website is just helbergbarbecue.com. It's barbecue spelled out BARBECUE. And we are fixing to switch over to a new website platform, but the domain will, or the URL will stay the same. The name,
right?
So new website will be coming out soon, and so you'll be able to do online ordering through there, catering, online shop. You know, we ship our spices and our merch and even whole briskets and stuff like that nationwide. So,
and I should have asked you this a lot earlier, but before I let you go, what's the perfect wood?
Post oak, right there on my shirt. Yeah, post oak is the best for Central Texas style, which is what we fall under. That is the wood of choice.
And if you don't think you can tell the difference, the taste, you can.
You definitely can.
You definitely can.
You definitely can. We actually get some red oak from time to time that we use to burn into coals for our pork steaks, because our pork steaks are cooked over coals, a little bit different method, and so you need a wood that burns a little bit hotter and the coals stay a little bit longer. And when we're burning that red oak, you can smell the difference.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Phillip, it's been a pleasure having you on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I appreciate you, and I wish you the very best of luck with the new location, the new restaurant. I haven't made it out yet, but I definitely will.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Love to have you.
Sure. Phillip Helberg, and thanks for the burn ends, the seasoning, and the ball cap today. That's great. I love presents like that.
Put that on anything.
All right.
Work on anything. We call it all-purpose for a reason.
I will do that.
Yeah.
Phillip Helberg, Helberg Barbecue out in Spiegelville, right there on the main road. Open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Check them out online. Again, barbecue week. And, of course, we do have a lot of great music. Colton Hawkins, my buddy, is on stage here at the backyard. Colton, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, pretty good. I'm awake.
Hey, I'm sorry I ate up all the burn ends before you got here.
That's all right. That put me back to sleep. I wasn't eating that this early.
Yeah, usually this is a very early time for musicians.
Well, I tried to get a good amount of sleep, in preparation. And then I'm looking at Facebook on my phone and such, and look, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I said, wonderful, good job. You did it, buddy.
Colton, why don't you kick us off with some music this morning?
All righty, here's one I wrote probably about 2 years ago. I got a lady want to cook my supper. I got another one that got no clue. I got a woman with an eye for another, but my love and she don't refuse. I got a damsel up in Dallas. I got a honey way down in Hearn. I got a princess drinking from a diamond studded chalice and a waitress with a cigarette burn. But I can't get no time of day from you. I don't know what to do. It's all wrapped up in ladies, are a quarter of a penny to the $100 million of you. Well, to the $100 million of you. I'm a check it just won't go through. I'm at the hobo sitting on the sidewalk hoping for the chance to shine your shoe. I gotta tell you about all these plans I made, honey. Won't you let my call come through? 'Cause my hopes and dreams are worthless things without the $100 million of you. My western, relocate and start over again. Well, now what them old men tell me, if you're holier now, thou ain't met thee. Or try not to ever get caught a sitting down and never climb a locust tree. Hey, but I told them all just to pipe down, honey, when the youth sashayed on through. 'Cause all wrapped up in lessons was a dime and half another to the $100 million of you. But to the $100 million of you, I'm a check, it just won't go through. I'm a hobo sitting on the sidewalk, hoping for the chance to shine your shoe. I gotta tell you about all these plans I made, honey, won't you let my call come through? 'Cause my hopes and dreams are worthless things without the $100 million of you.
Right.
Better than I thought it would first thing in the morning.
I think it went pretty doggone well.
They're trying to knock all them spider webs out of there. I don't know how y'all do it every morning.
Oh, man. I tell you what, doing the radio show, I would literally get up at 4:20 every morning and be at work at 5.
Lord.
Now I get here at 7:30, sleep till about 6:30.
Ah.
So, man, I'm sleep until 6:30 is like vacation to me.
So you're running on my 11 a.m. then is what it sounds like.
Well, where you been playing lately?
Mostly around West. I play, I did open up for Phil Hamilton at the Wheel last weekend.
Right.
But other than that, mostly just around West, still working bulldozing and stuff like that, so kind of keeping them matched business-wise.
Yeah, that's right.
Like Miners and Wolves and places like that, Tokyo. Then Erdler's there in Hubbard. I played there a couple times.
Right.
And that's pretty much it here lately.
Which one is it? It's not Wolves. So what's the one that's up for sale?
That's Miners.
Is it Miners?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Up for sale over there, man. That's a legendary. Both Wolves and Miners are legendary spots.
Miners been there a long time.
Very long time.
Family for a long time.
Yeah. What's the other one up there? Tipsy?
Tipsy Lion, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I played there a few times too. Not so much. Well, not lately. I just ain't been booked there. But
I remember.
That's a non-smoking bar. It gets a little difficult in there for me,
Didn't know that.
Which is a nice place. It's about the only one in West. So if you don't want to smell like an ashtray, there you go. But if you want the experience, you know where to go to the other ones.
I remember this has been a long time ago. I'm going to say probably in 1983-ish. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm going to guess 83-ish. There used to be a happening bar. It used to be Gerald Bolton Chevrolet. It was down right past Gerald Bolton's, down that road. Can't remember the name, but it was a happening spot. I used to go there back in the 80s.
Yeah, I heard about it. I was born in 91, if that makes you feel any better.
You were just a young child. I know. You're just a baby. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Well, they guessed me at 55, or somebody did the other night. And said, how old do you think I am? They said, oh, no, 55? Appreciate that. I think I need to go to church or something then.
That's right.
What's going on?
Colton Hawkins, my guest today. Going to play some more music for us. We got to take a short break. We'll be right back. We're live at the Backyard Bar, Stage, and Grill.
Are you ready to take control of your health? At 4U Health, we believe wellness and lab testing should be accessible, inclusive, and yes, fun. With our tech-powered at-home lab test, you save time and money while feeling your best. Say goodbye to long waits and office visits. Check your health on your own terms with 4U Health. Visit 4uhealth.com today and free yourself from traditional medicine. That's the number 4uhealth.com. You Get ready for epic savings at Best Buy. Right now, you can save up to $700 on select Alienware and Dell gaming products. Perfect for leveling up your gaming experience. Plus, grab the latest Android Google Pixel at an unbeatable price. Don't miss these incredible deals. Shop now at bestbuy.com and upgrade your tech today. At Fullwell, we bring together the expertise of registered dietitians, MDs, and OBGYNs to give you the best fertility support. Our research-backed bioavailable formulas are crafted with your health in mind, ensuring the highest quality and safety. From preconception to pregnancy and beyond, we exceed industry standards with independent testing for harmful contaminants. With our comprehensive practitioner directory, personalized care is always within reach. Fullwell, your trusted partner on your fertility journey. Visit us at fullwellfertility.com. Experience the perfect blend of exquisite craftsmanship and life-changing technology with Gevi. Every product is built with precision, featuring specialized parts that ensure durability, efficiency, and safety. We put every machine through 6,000 rigorous tests to guarantee long-lasting performance. With cutting-edge technology and a commitment to energy efficiency, Gevi makes your life easier, greener, and more convenient. Upgrade your everyday with Gevi. Visit us at gevi.com to discover more. That's gevi.com.
Have you ever watched true crime television and wondered, how did they get that story?
I can show you. I was a producer for 48 Hours on CBS News.
In my exclusive tell-all book, I'll take you where no audience has ever gone before. Don't miss out. Secure your copy of Killer Story, The Truth Behind True Crime Television today. Available everywhere books are sold.
With San, owning iconic furniture no longer requires paying a premium. We use the finest materials like Italian top-grain leather, known for its durability and luxurious feel, and apply meticulous attention to detail in every piece we create. Our replicas are crafted with the same care and precision as the originals, but a price that makes them accessible. With over 15,000 satisfied customers worldwide, we've proven that high-quality furniture doesn't have to come with a high price tag. Explore our collection today at san.com.
At Covers & All, we've revolutionized protective solutions with cutting-edge, customizable covers, tarps, and curtains. Using advanced tech fabrics that are 100% waterproof, UV tear, and abrasion resistant, we ensure lasting durability with hand-sewn double-stitch seams. Our commitment to quality, precision engineering, and customizable options is unmatched. With vertically integrated operations and express shipping, we deliver premier protection at affordable prices. Visit coversandall.com today for the perfect fit, guaranteed to last.
We haven't been looking for you.
Hellhound Country, available anywhere you get your podcasts. Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com.
Visit roguemediamusic.com for more music.
Back live. My friend Richard said it was called Coyote Bob's for a while.
There's one that's
and then it became Otley's.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking it was before Coyote Bob's.
I think it was another one over there.
It seemed like it was the Shed or
I keep
something like that.
I keep thinking Crying Shame, but that's Waco, so I know that's not it. It's something like that though.
Yeah. Or the Crying Shed. I don't know.
Crying Shed. Well, we're going to open one. That's what
we're going to figure it out. Hey, my buddy Phillip was here, Helberg Barbecue, and he was supposed to do the bad joke of the day, and we got all tied up talking about barbecue in the new restaurant that he didn't pick one. So I'm going to pick one today, and then I'm going to pass this over to Colton. He's going to tell one too. But here we go, and I want you to laugh. Please laugh. Don't leave me hanging here. What's small and red and has a rough voice? A horseradish. A horseradish. Okay, there we go. Hey, tomorrow on the show, it's barbecue week all week long. TC Brown is going to be here from VTEX. We'll talk about the Gut Pack and all the great food they have. That's tomorrow. And then music-wise, Bill Rendeck will be here to sing. So More music, more great talk about barbecue on the show tomorrow live at the Backyard. Big thank you to Waco Realtors, the Eastland Group, our major sponsor. What'd you do over the weekend, Colton? Did you play or did you do something else or just rest?
Yeah, I played at Wolf's on Saturday night. Then Friday night we went and seen Chris Perez, well, at Wolf's just because he was playing there. Yesterday I cleaned my pickup out, and it was long overdue.
Now, how long did that take?
Well, yesterday and probably next Sunday as well. You ever get so far into something, you're like, I'm just going to put it back.
Yeah.
We'll stack it up differently. That way it'll look different, you know.
That's funny. I love that.
About an 18-wheeler's worth of stuff in a short bed pickup. So
yeah.
Yeah, just.
Colton is our musical guest today. Let's do another song, Colton.
Alrighty. Here's one I recorded. Hopefully we'll be releasing here sometime with old Josh Bernard over there at Rabbit Hole. South of Fort Worth, north of Houston, east of Waco, there lie the ruins of a little farming town with 3 beer joints and 4 church steeples. I've lost my point. Him alone, I sit and sing down to the bottom of a river of strong drink. I ain't far from home, I ain't far from dead. Him alone, I hang my head. Some people fight, some shoot pool, some drink and stare. And there's future ghosts of black dirt farmers everywhere. And man, I've worked down in Big Spring, Mississippi, and Tennessee too. There ain't no place gets me quite so down and blue. Him alone, I sit and sing down to the bottom of a river of strong drink. I ain't far from home, I ain't far from dead. Him alone, I've made my bed. So I blame the woman, I play the fool, and I don't think nothing about the rules. It's all a fault of liars and their faulty plan. Ain't no fault transpired into my hand. Him alone, I sit and sing down to the bottom of a river of strong drink. I ain't far from home, I ain't far from dead. Him alone, I've made my bed. Him alone, I've made my bed. Thank you.
Good job.
That's a true story.
Yeah. Here's some country music history. See if you recognize any of these. All the way back to 1966, Buck Owens was #1 on the country charts with the song Waitin' in Your Welfare Line. I remember that song. I played that song.
I don't know if I've heard that one.
I'm a waiting in your welfare line. Yeah, great
can hear
song.
his voice.
#1, 1966. 1974, Charlie Rich, the Silver Fox, was #1 on the country album chart with his album Behind Closed Doors.
That's a good one.
What a great one.
Yeah. Woo. That's an instant classic right there. As soon as he wrote it, he said, yeah, that's going to be there.
Yeah.
Or whoever wrote it.
1985, Ray Charles and Willie Nelson were at #1 on the U.S. country chart with 7 Spanish Angels.
Another one. That's my granny's favorite one.
The other day, somebody I think it was Ken Castello was on the show, and one of the topics at our Weikert meetings that we have, the trivia question was, how many albums has Willie Nelson put out, been on with other people, just all of them? And it was, what was it, Mike?
It's over 100.
153. Yeah. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Where are they? I got to find them. I guess they're all on Spotify. Probably.
Yeah. 153. All right.
Somebody's got all the records on vinyl, too. I imagine how much that's worth.
Boy, wouldn't that be nice to have all 153 of those?
Oh, yeah.
1996, Brooks and Dunn released a cover version of My Maria, which was made famous by B.W. Stevenson back on the kind of rock charts many years ago. 2000, the late Toby Keith was #1 on the country charts with How Do You Like Me Now? That's hard to believe. That was 25 years ago.
See, that now you're getting into my memory bank where I can remember it a little bit.
2018, BB Rexa and Florida Georgia Line spent 11 weeks on #1 with the song Meant to Be. That was in 2018. Who are some of your favorites, Colton, that you like to listen to?
Well, when I was a kid, Leonard Skinner is the reason I wanted to play guitar, and I still loved him. But when it comes to listening, so we had cassettes of Tom T. Hall and, who else was it? Several, anyway. Tom T., I like listening to him if I need something to listen to. Guy Clark.
Yeah.
For sure.
Tom T. was known as the storyteller.
Oh, yeah.
He had such, I'm going to tell you, one of my all-time was Faster Horses.
Oh, yeah.
Younger Women and More Whiskey.
That one's in my set list. We might do it. I don't know. So
all right. You think you can do that for us?
I think we can pull it off.
All right.
You want to go ahead? Or?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
He was an old-time cowboy, now don't you understand? His eyes were sharp as razor blades, his face was leather tan. His toes were pointed inward from a hanging on a horse. He was an old philosopher, of course. He was so thin, I swear you could have used him for a whip. And he had to drink a beer to keep his britches on his hips. Well, I knew I had to ask him about the mysteries of life. He spit between his boots and he replied, "Oh, it's faster horses, younger women, older whiskey, and more money." Well, he smiled and all his teeth were covered with tobacco stains. He said it don't do men no good to pray for peace and rain. Peace and rain is just a way to say prosperity, and buffalo chips is all it means to me. Well, I told him I was a poet, I was looking for the truth, and I do not care for horses, whiskey, women, or the loot. Well, I said I was a writer, my soul was all on fire. Well, he looked at me and he said, "You are a liar. Boy, it's faster horses, younger women, older whiskey, and more money." Now I was disillusioned, now if I say the least. Well, I grabbed him by the collar and I jerked him to his feet. There was something cold and shiny laying by my head, so I started to believe the things he said. Now my poet days are over and I'm back to being me, as I enjoy the peace and comfort of reality. And if my boy ever asks me what it is that I have learned, I think that I will readily affirm, son, it's a faster horses, younger women, older whiskey, and more money, up until it's a faster horses, older women, cheaper whiskey, but once you run out of money,
Tom T. I think I
That's
knocked her
a
out
gooder.
of tune there.
I love that. Tom T. Hall song. Colton Hawkins, my guest this morning. When's your birthday, Colton?
July 16th.
Woohoo! Red, white, and blue, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Here's some birthdays today. Some famous people you might recognize. They were born on this date. 1874, one of the names that people just will always remember, Harry Houdini, the incredible, magician that, I think, was it Tony Curtis? They made the movie about him that was a really good movie. He was born. 1909, Clyde Barrow, Bonnie and Clyde was born. One of my favorite actors, Steve McQueen, was born in 1930. Tommy Hilfiger, 1951. 1953, Louis Anderson, the comedian, was born. Robert Carradine, 1954. Who else?
Heard that name in a while.
And I don't know if you're into the WWE wrestling. The Undertaker was born in 1965. He looks a lot older. He's had a rough life as the Undertaker.
He looks a lot bigger too. I don't know what that has to do with age, but that's a big fella.
That's exactly right. Jim Parsons, Sheldon, was born in 73. Who else we got? Oh, Peyton Manning, one of my favorite guys, 1976 he was born. We got some local birthdays today. My friend Chrissy, who is over on the Bull, Chrissy Donaldson, she works over there in radio. Chrissy used to work for me on 97 FM when she was over there, and then now she's at the Bull. If you like 90s country, give them it's 107.9, the Bull. Chrissy, happy birthday to you. Rhonda Dunlap having a birthday. Renee Higginbotham. I got Delia LeBron turning 27. Dalton Vanetta turning 33. Desiree Wolf is 30. Brad Schilling having a birthday. Brittany McNeil, happy birthday. Mark Sedberry, happy birthday. Ashley Starr, 31. Ashley Armstrong having a birthday today. Diane Young, happy birthday. Tyler Quittelbaum, 26 years old. Gary Matthews, 62. Jess Dunn, 38 years old. Karen George. Karen, happy birthday to you. And that's it for today. Happy birthday. Have a great day. Enjoy your day. It's going to be a perfect day. What are your big plans today? You going to go take a nap?
No, I'm going to go get on a bulldozer. Go back to work.
Hey, at least it's not going to be blowing 40 miles an hour.
I need you to make me famous out of this, what I need. That's the only reason I showed up. I knowed you'd do it for me.
I love it.
But no.
All right, we're going to take a short break. We'll come back and get more music from Colton as we're doing it live at the Backyard Bar, Stage and Grill, brought to you by Waco Realtors, the Eastland Group, and our friends at Be Kind Coffee. Right back.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internex.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today.
The TV blares, but no one cares. Deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go.
Find Life as a Song at Instagram, roguemedianetwork.com, or anywhere you get your podcasts.
Elevate your experience with Grenco Science, the leaders in cutting-edge vaporizers. Whether you're at home or on the go, our sleek, powerful devices deliver smooth, consistent hits every time. Quality you can trust, innovation you can feel. Grenco Science, take your vapor game to the next level. Visit us at GrencoScience.com.
Hey y'all, I'm April. And I'm Caroline. And this is your Bloody Happy Hour. Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody happy hour.
At Terrapin Ridge Farms, they believe in the joy of effortless entertaining. Inspired by CEO Mary O'Donnell's mom and her legendary holiday parties, they've crafted a line of gourmet foods that turn any meal into a celebration. From savory jams to mustards, aiolis, and more, their products are made with love, bringing unforgettable flavors to your table. Whether it's a casual get-together or a special occasion, they make it easy to impress. Terrapin Ridge Farms, where great food and great memories come together. Visit them at terrapinridge.com. Terrapin Ridge.
Justice Pending,
a weekly true crime podcast where we discuss tantalizing crimes with more questions than answers.
Thanks for joining us.
Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Combine that with OrganicHemp.com's top quality CBD for ultimate balance. Start your healing journey today at GlobalHealing.com and OrganicHemp.com.
It all began with a simple idea, cutting handles off old ski sticks to create better pull-up bars. This sparked the creation of the revolutionary Angles 90 handles. After testing over 70 prototypes with 300 athletes, our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Angles90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
It's the Pete Souza Show. Sports, Pete.
Visit roguemediamusic.com for more music.
Hey, it's barbecue week right here at the Backyard Bar, Stage and Grill. We have a different barbecue restaurant, and I know there's a lot of them that I have left off, but you can only do 5. And we may do another barbecue week down the road. So this morning, Phillip Helberg from Helberg Barbecue out in Spiegelville. Tomorrow, T.C. Brown from VTEX going to be here to talk about what's going on at VTEX bright and early, 8 to 9 o'clock. Right now, Colton Hawkins, my buddy, is here on the Backyard Stage. And let's do another song. First of all, let's do this. I know you've been really chomping at the bit to do a bad joke for us.
Of course, always.
And you've picked the best one on the sheet.
I think so. I only seem to get sick on weekdays. I must have a weekend immune system.
Weekend
immune system.
Okay, just throw that away.
That one got me. That's a good joke. I don't know what we're talking about bad joking today.
All right, we did Tom T. Hall a while ago. What's picked out this time?
All right. This is one I wrote in down around Houston. I can't remember exactly where. Oyster Creek, I think. Anyway, real quick story about it. We showed up 2 o'clock going down there to play a crawfish bowl. Showed up 2 a.m. playing the next day. I look across some little man-made channels they got sitting on this porch, and there's this couple over there, and they was being affectionate. Not all the way affectionate, but they were getting affectionate, you know, and I'm watching and looking, and I was like, I don't think I was supposed to be watching this, but I should write about it because he looks to be 90 and she looks to be 20. Said that he done made it, man. So I wrote this song, and then I met him the next day, and he wasn't near as old as I thought he was, and she wasn't near as young as I thought she was.
I love it.
Anyway, it's called Seaboat Captain. Well, there's an old seaboat captain. He was born in Illinois. His daddy worked factory, and his mama never was. He's a wayfaring youngster in trouble all the time. Hey, but trouble reads different to the wayfaring mind. Well, the wind blows water, the water washes land.
sun brings the water back upwards again. Well, sir, this old boat, she's running aground. Yeah, well, here's to good helmsman and turning around. So the captain went southward down the wide Mississippi, because a wild sea-bound captain, he must have find him a ship. Oh, but he wound up in Texas by all faults of his own. He's installing electric in a fine mobile home. Well, the wind blows water, and the water washes land. The sun brings the water back upwards again. Well, sir, this old boat, she's a running aground. Yeah, well, here's to good helmsman and turning around. Oh, well, his company went under, but the home hauling man, he said, my cousin's a shrimper, he gotta work if he can. So it was on to Louisiana for our old Capitan. Oh, he's a learning his manners as a lowly deckhand. Well, wind blows water, the water washes land. The sun brings the water back upwards again. Sir, this old boat, she's running aground. Yeah, well, here's to good helmsman and turning around. Oh, well, you might think I'm a fibbing, but I swear that it's true. You know, his story got murky for a decade or two, but now he's living in Freeport, no push and no shove. He got a lovely blonde consort, Lord, the captain's in love. Well, wind blows water, and the water washes land. The sun brings the water back upwards again. Well, sir, this old boat, she's running aground. Yeah, well, here's to good helmsman and turning around. Yes, sir, here's to good helmsman and turning around. Thank you. I did the wrong chord, but we made it.
Hey, that's okay.
That's one of them morning things.
Hey, you were telling me how you and I met. Tell that story where we were.
We were over there, I guess, across from the new stadium for the tailgate for the Baylor game.
Yeah, George's Party
tent?
Zone.
Yeah, Party Zone, that's it.
Yeah.
And it was me, Donna Beckham, Joey Dvorak, and Buck Fuffalo. Fun name to say over a microphone, isn't it?
What happened? You know, I haven't heard that name in a while.
I see him, I haven't seen him since then, actually, in person, but I see him he plays, from place to place.
Right.
According to Facebook, anyway, but that boy's good. That whole band is good.
Right.
I need to get out and see him, actually, next time I can. But I remember I may or may not have been a little bit intensely hungover. I can't remember. But we're playing, and I look up, and Wade Bowen was standing there with a stroller staring at us about 30 foot away. And am I that hungover?
Yeah, that's right. Him. Hey, man, we had some good times over there at the George's Party Zone.
Yeah, that was a fun day.
Fun times. But anyway, golly, that's a great story there. My friend Scotty is standing by. We're going to find out. Are you a sports fan, Colt?
Oh, not really.
Yeah.
But I could learn to be.
All right. I'm going to talk. Scotty, what sports team is going to be hot that we need to get Colton hooked up with?
Well, unfortunately, maybe the hottest team right now is the Duke Blue Devils, who just whooped up on our Baylor Bears yesterday, 89-66. Duke, the nation's favorite in all the brackets to win the national championship here in a couple weeks.
Now, I was thinking, was it you or was it Zach that said he was throwing Houston out there as the best?
I think Zach and I both picked Houston in our brackets to win it all, but you never know. That's why it's called March Madness. Zach, there's only 3 perfect brackets left after the first weekend of March Madness. 3 out of the tens of millions on ESPN that are still perfect.
Well, my girlfriend Andrea is huge A&M Aggie, and she was so disappointed in the loss the other day. And another story that I thought was interesting, and I'm trying to think hard now, but the head coach, 2 or 3 head coaches of college teams have been hired to go to bigger schools during the tournament, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, one of those being Grand Canyon's Molly Miller, who lost to Baylor over the weekend here in Waco. She just got hired as the head coach at Arizona State. Hot coach in her mid-30s, one of those rising coaches with a lot of momentum behind her name. Yeah, Grand Canyon University. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Okay, I just lost, but...
well, when you can take one of those smaller programs to the big dance, that often says a lot. You know, if you think about Scott Drew was only the head coach at Valparaiso for a season or 2 before he got brought in to resurrect Baylor. You know, so it really says a lot for these coaches. And it's kind of open season, not only for coaches right now, but in the transfer portal. There's already schools trying to pick up players from teams that didn't make the tournament to maybe bring them in and bolster your team. The transfer portal has made everything kind of the Wild West.
We watched so many teams over the weekend, my girlfriend and I, but this one particular team, the Star, had played on 3 or 4 different college teams. She's moved around so much, and I can't recall her name. But the question that Andrea asked me, do college female athletes get paid like the football guys?
Well, nobody's going to get played like football because nothing makes money for the schools like football. It's not even close. I mean, I think most schools' second biggest sport is men's basketball, and the revenues don't even compare. But depending on what school you are at, they are certainly putting money into women's athletics. And for Baylor, that's primarily basketball, just because of our history of success. In fact, this Baylor women's team, they did lose yesterday to Ole Miss. It was a disappointing loss here in Waco. They are expected to be very aggressive in the transfer portal to replace some big pieces that graduate and leave.
What's going to be on the hot topic today other than basketball?
Really nothing, to be honest with you, Zach. We're going to be talking NCAA tournament on the Pete Souza Show here in just a little bit, reacting to some of the upsets in the big games. We made betting picks before the weekend, Pete and I, so we're going to see how we did. We did very well, actually, so if you want to make some money, you might want to tune in to the Pete Souza Show this week. We might also talk a little Baylor spring practice. Football team just got back to practice over the weekend. A lot of exciting new faces in Waco on the football team, and now that basketball is kind of flamed out, everybody's looking forward to the fall.
All right. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. See ya.
Bye-bye. Right after my show, Pete Souza. They talk sports. We'll find out. Are we officially in the Sweet 16? I guess we. Oh, I look at Mike. Mike goes, I don't know. That's producer Mike. Full what? Colton Hawkins, my guest on stage. We're going to do one more song.
All right.
Have you picked out your favorite?
Yeah, well, I'm going to grab this thing.
Okay.
Picked out my wife's favorite.
Oh, I like that. I thought for a minute you were going to go for the kazoo.
No, I broke that. Not too hard, turns out. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, we was talking about Guy Clark, so I'm going to play one of his.
just had a dime. Well, for every bad time, but the bad times always seem to keep the change. And you've been all alone, so you know what I'm saying. And when all you can recall is the pain, well, just you wait until tomorrow when you wake up with me at your side and find I hadn't lied about nothing. And I wouldn't trade a tree for the way I feel about you in the morning. Anyhow, I love you. And every day it gets, well, just a little bit better. But half of getting there's knowing where I've been before. And I'm sure you understand, 'cause I ain't your first man. So when you're feeling like running for the back door, don't just you wait until tomorrow when you wake up with me at your side, find I hadn't lied about nothing. And I wouldn't trade a tree for the way I feel about you in the morning. Anyhow, I love you. Just you wait until tomorrow when you wake up with me at your side, find I hadn't lied about nothing. And I wouldn't trade a tree for the way I feel about you in the morning. Anyhow, I love you. Guy Clark song.
Colton Hawkins, my buddy, sold more albums than the Beatles over in Afghanistan, I believe.
And he sold more Beatles than an album. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna brag on that guy right there.
All right.
During the
Who, the Beatles or Colton?
Colton, banjo. During the David Allan Coe fiasco, one of the many in his career.
Oh boy.
That gentleman right there kept the crowd here for 3 hours entertaining. He played every song he knew, every song he didn't
You're
know.
the one. I keep hearing this story that this guy is like, boom.
Hero.
I never had to pee so bad in my life. Well, Chris walked out there, and I'm like, good. He's going to talk to him for a minute. I'm going to run back to that green room. And he was like, I need you up here. Keep going. Just keep going.
Just keep going.
I'm like, yes,
oh,
sir.
man. He played forever. God bless you, my friend. And
that was a good time.
Ever since he did that, he now wears Depends on every gig in case he has to play a long time.
Rubber boots.
Yeah. All right.
Good stuff, man. Yeah, that was an interesting night.
It was.
It was. But man, you killed it, bro. You had them captivated.
In fact, I said I was going to run back to the green room. I had never even been in a green room at that point in my life. And I didn't know there was bathrooms back there. So when I got off stage, of course, everybody's like, that was, I didn't think it was that awesome, frankly, because I had a restroom on my mind. I walked all the way across there to that
back in the
other corner bathroom.
Everybody's stopping him.
Yeah. I made a lot of good contacts that night.
Yeah, that's good, man.
It worked out for me pretty well. So.
Oh, my gosh. Estimate how many songs you think you sang that night?
628.
Let's see. It's 3 hours divided by 3.
Damn near 3 hours.
I'm not good at math.
40, 50 songs probably.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It was a bunch.
Yeah. Because, acoustic, there's no guitar solos, no extended. And he's a great storyteller, too.
Yeah.
So
I tried. The band got up there with me, too, for a while.
Yeah, it was David Allan Coe's band, because they were already here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then they bailed on me.
It could be like Johnny Lee or John Connolly just sing the big hit over and over. I remember Johnny. I love Johnny, and I know he's been battling health problems, but Looking for Love, he would sing that.
That one and Love, Look What You've Done to Me. He did that one about 38 times.
John Connolly, of course, rose-colored glasses.
Yep.
And he's still kicking it, man.
He played here about 3 months ago, and I didn't make it. I had a gig, but Brazil said, man, he sounds like...
You close your eyes, and he sounds just like it.
Now, his legs are that long.
And his pants are up here. His waistline is here.
We always used to say that about Charlie Daniels. Charlie Daniels. Oh, my pants are unzipped. Let me...
up to there.
32-inch zipper.
Hey, Brian is here with us from the backyard. Over the weekend, we had Holly Tucker Friday, Mike Ryan Saturday. Had a little karaoke last night.
Yeah.
And so we're rolling in. New week. What do we got?
Well, more local heroes, much like my buddy Banjo right there. Friday night, we have a fella that's from this area by the name of Pat Green.
Oh, I think I've heard of that guy.
Yes.
I think he stopped at George's Bar once or twice.
Once or twice. Yeah, wrote a quick song about it, had a hit. Yeah, Pat's here with Trent Cowie, and Trent will be here in a couple of months too, so if you have not seen Trent Cowie, another great one. And then some other up-and-comers, well, I say up-and-comers, they're beyond that point, the Huser Brothers.
Saturday night?
Huser Brothers will be here Saturday night, so it's a local hometown hero weekend for sure. And they've got Cam Allen with them.
Oh, he's good. I like him.
And then this karaoke thing, I mean, you hear karaoke, and like we kind of wince when we hear that word, but it's blowing up. I found out when I got here this morning that my daughter and grandkids were here singing last night, so it was my daughter's birthday. Happy late birthday, sweetheart. But
how old is she?
She's 28 now. Yeah,
wow.
And that's my baby.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, let's move on to a different subject.
Trust me. The other
great
day,
weekend of music.
It was my son's third.
Oh.
Yeah. And he's now a grandfather, which makes me a great-grandfather.
I'm not there yet. I've got 7 grandkids, and one of them is in college. And when I tell friends that my granddaughter's in college, they go, I hear you, brother. My daughter's in college, too. And I go, you didn't listen, did you? Granddaughter.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Backyard Bar Stage and Grill. What time are we going to open today for lunch?
11 o'clock. But if you get here at 10:58, we'll probably go ahead and serve you anyway. And the bar's open, too, so if you want a day drink, we like that.
We do, too. I do, too. Marcus, right, in the kitchen?
DeMarcus, yes, sir.
He was telling me that I actually had him on the show.
Yeah.
And Marcus said something about you do something in cornflakes?
The cluckers. Our chicken tenders, they are battered in cornflakes, so it gives a little sweet flavor, and then you dip them in our Chipotle ranch.
Woo!
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
I love it. I love it. What's the latest with Sloppy Joe? Anything going on with you boys?
Well, yeah, we're playing. We got a couple of gigs this weekend, and then what we're gearing up for is May 31st. I'll probably push that one a bunch. That's our 30-year anniversary right here at Backyard. So 30 years we've been doing this. So we'll have a big blowout, have a bunch of folks that used to play with us and play with us now, and a couple of memorials. We lost another one of our former guitar players last week, or week before last.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so we had a little memorial for him last week. And yeah, man, time is passing. But yeah, 30 years, we're going to celebrate that. With
bringing back some of the great ex-members, Lionel Richie,
yes,
Stevie Wonder,
yes,
all those great. Bootsy,
yes.
Isn't Bootsy going to be here?
Bootsy will be here. He's called House Shoey now. He's a little older and more comfortable.
House Shoey. That was good. That was quick for this early in the morning.
Thank you.
That's pretty good. Hey, so anyway, Brian is here from the backyard. Come by for great food, great entertainment. Colton, you got one more song left in you, buddy?
I might.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you he does because I've seen it.
Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, a David Allen Co. reunion.
Yeah. Let's do the Chinese national anthem here. Hang on. What to do? Maybe some Keith Whitley. How about that?
So if I seem a little bit cold, it only means you've lost the hold you had on me. I'm over you. You heard I'm drinking more than I should, that I ain't been looking all that good. Someone told you I was taking it rough. Now why are they making those stories up when I am over you? You heard I'm drinking more than I should, that I ain't been looking all that good. Someone told you I was taking it rough. Now why are they making those stories up when I am over you? I am over you. I am over you.
All right, continue to play a little music. He's going to play us out. Just a little bit of background music here. All right. Hey, a big thanks to my guest today, Phillip Helberg, Helberg Barbecue. Colton Hawkins, my music guest. Barbecue Week continues tomorrow morning. TC Brown from over at VTEX will be here, so make sure you tune in. Miss you, Jim. Have a great day. Bye-bye, everybody.
Keep the music playing.